Johnny, here I want you to join the crusade. I've watched you. You know, I've watched you. Sometimes our people disagree with you, but I mean, I understand some of your approach. I mean, sometimes we take a hard bite. It helps us as politicians.
Nowadays, when I listen to you, I even panic.
Why?
Maybe, hey,
why do you panic?
The way you, Papa, you know, Papa, what you used to fan charcoal.
Right.
You've seen it,
right?
When you fan it, then the charcoal bright red.
This is a call for accountability.
You fan government's charcoal to it's bright red.
It's a call for accountability.
I enjoy it.
Johnny, first and foremost, let me take this opportunity because I've been seeing you for quite some time. You are doing very good job for the mother Ghana. Remain undaunted.
This our society,
correct,
and it will take me and you to do it. That's why I always watch Johnny's Bite.
The general watches Johnny's Bite
every day.
Thank you very much.
And it's devoid of insults, but straight to the point, factual and fearless.
Charlie, no be joke. The pressure people like Johnny can give you.
No.
You know, get grey hair, you go get grey hair.
I'm innocent.
And that's what I'm saying. That the pressure Johnny and his people, the pressure they can give you, you know, get grey hair, you go get. So your best bet is not to have hair.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of darkness, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. The rod and the staff, they will comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You will anoint my head with oil, my cup will overflow. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Good morning and welcome to Johnny's Bite. It's Tuesday. Yesterday, I had a very funny comment. And I say very, very funny comment from the finance minister of all people. We're told he had done Yale, Ivy League school. He said that if we don't pay the e-levy, District Assembly Common Fund will not be paid. I laughed. I laughed and rolled down, and my son Obrimpon came to fall on me. The finance minister said that of all people, he said, and this is an article on 3 News, said we need e-levy to be able to pay District Assembly Common Fund. I laughed. The Minister for Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, has reiterated the need for Ghanaians to support moves by Akufo-Addo-led government to impose a tax on electronic transactions. Initially proposed 1.75%, the government has now reviewed the rate to 1.5%, but the levy is still facing resistance by a section of Ghanaian public and the minority in Parliament. 3 News, it is nearly all Ghanaians who are fighting against this. Now, the finance minister is indicating to us that if we don't pay the e-levy, come back to studio, Danny. If you don't pay the e-levy, we will not be able to pay District Assembly Common Fund. When he knows that per Article 252, 5% of internally generated funds or domestic funds, oil revenue, everything else, market tolls, road tolls, which we cancelled before the approval, as Ken Ofori-Atta had read for us. We cancelled it. So property rate, business operation permit, oil revenue, everything else, 5% of it goes to fund District Assembly Common Fund. So what is Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta talking about? You cannot tell lies or untruths to win trust. If you want to win the people's trust for e-levy, you cannot tell untruth to win trust. That's the first one. We are hoping to raise 6.9 billion, right? And you're already losing 5.3 billion through state-owned enterprises. You are not looking at how to plug the hole. You saw the Auditor General's report. You are losing plenty money, giving even tax exemptions. You are not focusing on that. You are telling us that if we don't pay the e-levy, and this sounds to me like blackmail and a big joke, pure blackmail and a big joke, that if we don't pay this, we will not get that. So e-levy has become the panacea for everything. If you don't pay e-levy, free SHS will stop. If you don't pay e-levy, you won't get roads. If you don't pay e-levy, your light will go off. If you don't pay e-levy, water will stop flowing. If you don't pay e-levy, everything is e-levy. How much is the money you are looking to raise from e-levy? And when people start raising a question like that, you want to securitize e-levy, collateralize it, to raise the money, you say no. But you and I know that the domestic revenue, the thing that you're supposed to be raising money from, 5% of which will go and cover District Assembly Common Fund, you are going to securitize some of them for loans. So even that flies flat in the face of the law. The law says every money we raise in this country, 5% of that money is for the District Assembly Common Fund. The District Assembly Common Fund will see 3% for persons living with disability and mobrowa. Right from source, you have securitized some of the cash. So even the 5% that you're supposed to be deducting from every source, some of them don't come. You have not accounted for it. You are raping the law. And you are here telling us that if we don't pay levy, we will not do this. If you don't pay levy, you will not do this. Now property rates now originate. Now business operation permits now originate. If people want to block the streets to go and do funeral, IGF now originate. And what the heading? What do you use it for? What exactly do you use it for? And you see, I start asking questions because I remember very vividly when the Japadi was going to happen, we were told that you people have combined 80 years experience. It was Gabi Asarachida who quoted that. 80 years experience. I remember Dr. Nimwe Thompson laughed it off. 80 years experience, that's what you said. That your experience was 80 years combined, you and, what do you call it, Charles Edubuahin, Dr. Charles Edubuahin. You had 80 years experience. Eventually, a Japan led us into a ditch. Who was the transaction advisor? And how much money did we pay the transaction advisor? And who has been held accountable for leading us into a ditch? Signing a contract on a law that was non-existent because the president had not assented to it. Go and read Martin Amidu's corruption risk assessment. Alichon, too much. Ahomaswani pomposity. That is why we are where we are. And there's not even the honesty and candor to say, look, we are in a hard place. Then we find 11 January 2017, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo announcing Ken Ofori-Atta, and I like the president for that. In this is second time, he didn't announce the ministers. He did it Nicodemously. Because when he announced Bache Jacko, Ambrose Derry, Ofori-Atta, Kandapa, Kwekwajima Mendu, all those people as his first set of ministers, he gave us their KPI, their key performance indicators. He gave us. So when he set up the Ministry for Monitoring and Evaluation, Dr. Kutua said we could monitor. Now he has picked ministers. Adjoa Safo is AWO, MP TikTok. It is your baby daddy will say, not me. And I always tell you, they know the truth. When we stand here to speak, they know what we are saying is the truth. They just don't want us to be the ones saying, now you see, the water has overed them. They are talking. They will talk. It's just one. Plenty will come. They will talk. The same things we say. And the things that I said before. When 19 boys were sodomized by their social studies teacher who is supposed to teach them common sense, Akupi JHS. Adjoa Safo was minister. She's still minister for what do you call it, gender, children, and social protection. She never breathed a word. Madam Cecilia Adapa is acting. They've never breathed a word. The boys who were raped and sodomized by their social studies teacher, Mr. Otabel. The matter is in court. I won't go into the detail. Some of the boys have stopped schooling. And yet we have a so-called gender, children, and social protection ministry. So-called. What are you protecting? What are you looking for gender? That if the video is ready, play for me Mr. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic, announcing Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta as his finance minister, and listen to the things that he said Mr. Ofori-Atta was going to achieve for us. 5 years on, we will ask a simple question. What has changed? Because they campaigned for change. What has changed? No, not this one. At the Jubilee House, not this one. There's one at the Jubilee House. President of the Republic announces his first set of ministers. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo at the Jubilee House. He announced his first set of ministers. And I like Nana Addo for that. And because we started using the measure that he put by the ministers, he stopped that in the second term. So his second term ministers, he didn't announce them like he did. Because you mentioned Peter Danka, come and stand there, or come and stand there. Some of them stood innocently. We didn't know that it would end up like this. They stood there innocently. So oh, this gentleman, he is a former blah, blah, blah. He has done da, 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 da. He has this, da, 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 da. These are the problems we have seen with the minister, da, 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 da. So we are bringing him to solve da, 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 da. President Akufo-Addo arrange go to me floor. Then they'll go. Now we are here. The cedi is crippled before the dollar, the pound, the euro. Ken Ofori-Atta is still Minister for Finance. Yet Isikasu Enso come day, Ken Ofori-Atta is still Minister for Finance. In fact, when Ken Ofori-Atta was ill and sick and seeking medical care, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo kept the role of the finance minister for his, is it cousin or brother or uncle or whatever it is, relative, family and friend. He kept it for him. It was Osei Mensabos who came to read the budget in Parliament. As if in the MPP party, there are no other people who are qualified for the role of finance minister. Nana Addo Dankwa, he kept it for him. Even when economists within the party were telling him that Ken Ofori-Atta is a bad choice. I'll show you. Then if you have that video, play it for me now. President Akufo-Addo announcing Ken Ofori-Atta, play it for me. And I will demonstrate to you in the coming videos what Mr. Ofori-Atta himself has said, what Mr. Ofori-Atta said on that rainy day when they did occupy Flagstaff House, the things he said and how he's doing the exact opposite of the things he said. And Dr. Baumia said that they had locked the dollar and given the key to the IGP. The IGP was sitting there. He couldn't defend himself. When you live in a country where your political appointments go into the security enclave, because in this country, before you become a lieutenant colonel, you become an ACP, ADP, whatever it is, it has to come from the Jubilee House or the Flagstaff House. So if you don't behave, you don't get. They know what I'm saying is the truth. We only speak the truth here. Tag them. Hashtag Johnny's Bite. Please find the video for me. If you can't find that video, that video is there, Danny. I don't know why today. Danny, have you not eaten today? Danny? You have not eaten today. Okay. Play for me, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta on the streets. Occupy Flagstaff House. Play for me. He was wearing a Rasta hat. Play for me.
You should show respect. The other man is stealing, he's killing you. Why do you have to show respect to him? In Brazil, what happened? If the young man called Sule Muntari was not brave enough to slap somebody, do you think we would have known what was going on? No.
For me, it was very reminiscent of the 70s during a Champions time, which were really bad times where we all slept at the petrol station. So that's indication that, you know, you really need to get up and talk about it, because we cannot, as a nation that deserves so much more, come to this level.
I'm working like a bull and I'm paying my taxes. The government got to work like a bull as well and make sure that my road is fixed, that I have electricity, that I have water. That is their job. It is not for me to...
You see them? Did you take notice of them? These people led us on the streets demonstrating, and they told us that when they come, they will do better. 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, like that. What has changed? That's my simple question. What has changed? What is your scorecard? When I ask this question, they get angry. What is your scorecard? Mr. Ofori-Atta, you heard him. He said that's why we used to sleep at the filling station, reminiscence of back in the day. Have you bought fuel today? The truck drivers and the taxi drivers are up in arms. They can't buy the fuel. They cannot buy the fuel. And here we are. And Mr. Ofori-Atta is still finance minister. Danny, play the video of President Akufo-Addo announcing Mr. Ofori-Atta. I want us to hear his KPI so that as a country, together, we can grade him and show him his scorecard, because we use our tax money to pay him. When he finishes, then he play Mr. Kwame Jantua saying that if you give the economy to that, they can't manage it. Because they have not seen suffering before. President Akufo-Addo has not seen suffering before. They only say, oh, he lived at Niba, blah, blah, blah. His father was a big man My father was not a big man. President Akufo-Addo's wife's father was a big man. They have not seen suffering before. They are royals. They are dada beasts. 100% dada beasts. They have not seen something before. Play the video for me.
Transformation of our economy is a big strategic objective of our government. It will not be accomplished in the 4 years of our government, but at least we can make a really solid and systematic and consistent beginning. And Alan Shemating is the person that I have full confidence in, who is going to lead this particular endeavor. As I say, he cannot be here, but he's the person whose name I've submitted to Parliament. The next person is arguably one of the most successful bankers in our country, an American educated, Columbia, Yale, the rest, worked in Wall Street as a young man for Morgan Stanley and for Salomon Brothers. And when he returned here to Ghana in the late 80s, early 90s, combined with his partners to found what has become the most successful investment bank in our country, that is Data Bank. It's grown to have affiliates across the continent. So we have somebody who's been deeply involved in the economies, not just of Ghana, but of several countries on the continent, and has been successful in promoting investment and development in those economies. His reputation in international capital, money markets, very high. We want to get the Ghanaian economy fully back on track and developing so that we can create jobs and lift and raise the living standards of our people.
Get the economy back, create jobs. Where are the jobs? Is the economy back? So Ken Ofori-Atta is still Minister for Finance. And I told you that President Akufo-Addo is too loyal to a fault that even when the man was sick and acknowledged that he was sick and they hid it from all of us, he kept the job for him. As if in the FPP there are no other economists, there are no finance people, nothing. Go and check the number of human brains that the FPP has. Even Coach Milo with his one goal agenda, they substituted the dying days of his matches. The president has refused to reshuffle his ministers, and you know why? It is because the people around the president massage his ego. And it is also because the people who massage his ego also feed into that conspiracy theory of telling the president that they told you not to appoint Peter Duncan. So once you went ahead and appointed Peter Duncan, if you sack Peter Duncan, people will say, oh, we told you. So that's what the president's dilemma is. And I'm not saying these things. These things are on the streets. Go to Choko, go to Korigolo, go to Mapobi, go to Ahinsa Estate. They are there. They say it. When they gather, they say those things. They say those things. The people think that the president has disappointed them. He has disappointed them. People feel angry. There's pent-up anger. They know it. They just don't want us to be the ones to be saying it. But we are with the streets. We do community connect. We will say it the way it has to be said. There are very fine materials in the MPP. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. But we will say the truth because it is for all of. How do you come and tell us that if we don't get levy, we will not be able to pay District Assembly Common Fund? When you know that per Article 252, District Assembly Common Funds is 5% of all our domestic revenue that we raise. How do you even start saying things like this? How do you tell untruth to win trust? How? Play Dr. Baumia's video for me.
The city has appreciated in value. When we came in, it was running. essentially we have arrested it. and the IGP has the keys. He's locked it up. We've arrested it.
Unfortunately, and this is my closing statement.
Okay.
Unfortunately, when you have that's running the economy, it's very difficult.
Check socks.
It's very, very difficult for them to compare what the ordinary man goes through.
If the dollar had not been arrested, and Dr. Baumia said that, that is equal to publishing fake news. So the way journalists are being picked up, perhaps it should be picked up, or because it's the chairman of the police council. No, I'm saying, if I stand here and say something that is not truthful, they will come for me and take me before a court of their choice and tell me that I've published fake news and I'll sleep in jail. Or we should all become politicians so that when we say things, we are covered by the umbrella of politics or by the elephant of politics. He said that we had salvaged the CD, arrested it, and given the key to IGP Apietu. After Apietu, there's been Opombuenu. After Opombuenu, there's been Dan Paris. Have you bought CD today and $1 today? Or yesterday, did you buy some? And Kwame Jagtua said it. I say, me, when I stand here and speak, I speak because the streets talk to me. The streets, they talk to me. When you as teacher unions have problems, and your teacher, your members, you take dues from them, they don't come to you, they come to me. It should tell you the kind of leadership they are giving to the people. When you as an MP, your people have a problem, they don't come to you, they go to the press, watch it. When you're a DC and your people even don't have a relationship with you, watch it, because you are happy that the Jubilee House is happy with you. Watch it. If you are a leader and your constituents cannot engage with you, watch it. That is where we are now. We are where we are because we know the sea top. Now, what did Mr. Kwame Pienim? He's a founding member of the MPP. He's a boss man of the Council of Elders. And he had this to say. Bella asked him a definite question. Listen to him about Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta's management of the economy.
What do you say to Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, the finance minister's management of the economy so far? It's been 5 years going into 6 years. Do you think he's done a good job?
No.
He hasn't done a good job.
He hasn't done a good job. No.
Why do you
say? He's overborrowed. We are not getting value for money. And he needs to realize he is not just a budget and expenditure minister. He is minister for finance. Finance means growing the economy. He said the economy grow, we are the fastest growing.
Yeah.
The narrative is wrong. When you say the economy is growing, everything is honky-dory. And then you are asking workers to tighten their belt. Of course, they are not going to tighten their belt. You know, Ken Ofori-Atta has borrowed more than any other minister.
Facts are facts. Bosu, MPP man, he said Mr. Ofori-Atta has borrowed too much and that he's the worst finance minister we've ever had. President Akufo-Addo is confident in him. And I played for you the KPI on the 11th of January 2017. The things that President Akufo-Addo envisaged for Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta to do for us, to bring back the economy, to create jobs, to make sure that we are floating properly, all of these three have not been done. Don't blame COVID. We are not the only country hit by COVID. And we borrowed so much in the name of COVID. So don't come and make an excuse with COVID. The president needs to make a reshuffle. If what Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta said in the rain, that day when we covered the demonstration for Occupy Flagstaff House, is anything to go by, maybe he has forgotten, that's why I played it for him. Him, my good friend Kofi Kapito, and lawyer Esan Kuma, and Goda, and all those people. All those people, Mrs. Okran, they were all there. Today they have all kept quiet. Where is Professor Marty? Where is Reverend Professor Marty? And where is he? Where is he? Well, now, Christian Council, they are meeting John Mahama to tell him to soften his stance on the E-levy. Where is Professor Marty and Nyansafoni? Where is he? Where are all the other pastors? Christian Council, what are their names? They are all there. What is their input now? Ghanaians are demonstrating that from the beginning of the year. Can you imagine the number of demonstrations and the number of strikes? UTAG is there, TEU is there, CTAG is there, what do you call anesthetics is there. Even the anesthetics, they are not asking for money. They say renew their licenses. That's all they're asking for. Everybody is striking. Tractor drivers are increasing. In fact, 2 years ago, even the school for the deaf and blind, they went on strike. They went on demonstration. Blind people are demonstrating against you. Blind people, people who can't hear, they can't see, they are demonstrating. They are doing pinche. Tomorrow I'll play that video for you. Blind people and deaf people, sorry, they are demonstrating against you. Hey, blind people, people who can't hear, people who can't see, they are demonstrating against you. No, watch it, Bosu. Watch it, because the videos there are plenty videos, plenty. So if you don't change your life, we will play them for you every single day. And me, I've slept in guard rooms. If you pick me, go and take me 3 days, 4 days. I'll come back. I'll come and say the same thing. Because what I'm saying is the truth. The truth is only one. Good morning.